one of the boys online.
Alright, welcome back. It's your number one business radio. It's time for Investors Education Series. And we're looking at why money is spiritual. We're looking at the spiritual angle to money. So I'd encourage you to pay attention. And Mr. Charles will start the segment with some thought-provoking or mind-stimulating questions or exercise. Over to you.
Yes, thank you very much, Gina. You know, for investors' education, it's not just for education for the materiality, it's also education to expand our mind. For me, education is not complete if you don't take care of the other dimensions of man. You know, you should have the physical education, you should have the mental education, you should have the spiritual education, you should have the emotional education, so that you be a balanced and whole human being that will contribute his or her own quota to the improvement of the planet Earth. Take some questions that will Are you spending enough time with your family and friends? Do you come home from your job full of life? Do you have time to participate in things you believe are worthwhile? Is your life whole? Do all the pieces, your job, your relationship, your expenditure, your values, do they all fit together? Have you prepared a will? Thank you. While I leave you to begin to continue to ponder on those questions, I'll also add some mind-stimulating questions again to also build your subconscious. What are your three most important goals in your life right now? You can state them down. 2, what are your three most pressing problems right now? 3, describe the ideal outcome you desire from a problem facing you right now. What one thing will you dare to attempt if you knew you could not fail? What do you want? What do you want? What do you really want to do with your life? Okay, thank you. So that takes me to our topic for today. It's going to be rather short, but it is very exciting. And but before I go straight to that topic, I'll just try to give some background. Monday to Friday, and I go and rest for one Friday to Sunday evening. I'm not happy, and I just begin to quarrel. So what is the purpose of life? Just like somebody saw two people and they were cracking, let me say stone, you know, they were just cracking the stone, you know. And of course, in a place where they want to build a very big cathedral. And the guy now asks one of the workers, say, what are you doing? Now say, can't you see what I'm doing? I'm cracking stone now. He now asks the other worker, you know, that one just said, I'm cracking this stone to be a part of the thing that is building a big cathedral this space. So you can see the same job, one has given by the other one, he just for the sake of the job. So our life has meaning. We have purpose while we are here. And of course, there have been several theories as to discover what you want, know your purpose in life, you know, and so many like that. Now, it also applies to our search for money. Like we have said here, you don't pursue money, you attract money. So you see people go about their job as if the job is just the job for the job itself. There must be a higher purpose, a bigger purpose why you are doing that job. It's so funny. I once asked somebody who was selling drinks. I said, "Ma, do you enjoy this your job?" Because at some point in time, she had issues with religion sect where she was worshiping. They told her, you sell alcoholic drinks, and and all that. So I asked her, do you have fulfillment in this your business? She said, yes, it pays my bill. I know we can make some money. I pay my house rent. I do this. I train my children. I said, is that all? Is that all? Just for that sake? Mundane, physical, materialism. Have you thought of, as you are selling drinks, you are making people happy during their birthday? You are making people happy during their wedding? So you should go beyond just you. You must give your job a purpose. Every job has a purpose. So that when there are difficulties, because of that meaning, that purpose of your job, you will continue to go. So that now takes us to today's topic, which is, why is money spiritual? Or you say money and spirituality. Yes, people don't want to talk about spirituality, In fact, people are also even afraid of talking about money. But it's easy for them to talk about other issues, even some private issues, when they go and see their therapist. They can even talk about, what happens in the other room. They can talk about it freely. But when it comes to money, they don't want to talk about it. That's the truth. So which tells us that money is a very sensitive issue. Money is very sensitive topic, and we must have the right frame of mind to be able to discuss it. And that takes me to a quote I normally like to quote. Of course, it's given by a woman, Suze Orman, a financial planner, an expert in financial planning, personal financial planning. She said, and I'll quote, "Stop buying things you don't need to impress people you don't even like." So you can see people just acquire money. But if they understand the spiritual dimension of wealth and money, of course, I think they will not just be acquiring money or wealth for the sake of it. I'll give you an example. They have several types of entrepreneurs. You have the classical entrepreneurs. Those ones, they are just there for the sake of the money. Yes, and I can give some examples. And when they have made so much money, maybe in their old age, they begin to wonder, then what is the meaning of all this? That's when they begin to have soul searching. What is the meaning of all this? And that is when they now become philanthropy overnight. Yes, and you see them, they just will all their wealth to a charity. But in their youthful days, when they were acquiring this money, they were not thinking of such. Okay, that is classical entrepreneurs. We also have the social entrepreneurs. They work so hard, but at the end of the day, that social business cannot be sustained. The business will run into losses, maybe bankruptcy and all that. And a good example is the microfinance bank by Dr. Mohammed Yunus, somewhere in Bangladesh. Grameen Bank. Yes, the bank was able to support so many poor families and lifted them out of poverty. But at one point in time, they were seriously in debt. Okay, so that is social entrepreneur. But when you don't talk of spiritual entrepreneurs, mind you, when I talk about spirituality, I'm not talking about religion. So people should not misquote me. your spirituality has to do with your own personal relationship with whatever you believe. It is not where you worship, it is not religion. So you must have that in mind. And we have been told by philosophers that man is of several dimensions. Physical man is there. The emotional man is there. And of course, the spiritual man is there. Of course, you also have the intellectual man. And you must be able to take care of all those dimensions of man. If you have your workers, you must make use of their intellect, stimulate them so that they give their best. That is their mind. Then, of course, their physical health, physical body, you must take care of them. And of course, their emotional dimension, which is the heart, you also have to take care of it. So when it comes to money, you have the physical dimension of money, you have the emotional dimension of money. That is how you relate with money, your attitude towards money. That's one of the questions we ask. Are you at peace
with money?
With money. When you say enough money, what is enough money? For A, enough money will not be the same thing for B. So each of us have our own different level of what is enough money. So, but why is money spiritual? Some persons will say some of the attitude towards money that rich people are not spiritual. But we have said no. Spirituality, wealth, and money can go together. And that's what we are trying to let investors aware today. That as you are investing in the stock market, in real estate, in commodities, in money market, investing to also invest in cryptocurrency, you should understand that there is an higher purpose beyond you. And you will need to invest this money to make this planet a better place how we met it. That is the spiritual dimension of why money should be treated that way. We are not saying, because people have some money disorder, they worship money. No, you should not worship money. Some people have a disorder that we call money avoidance. They don't talk about money. Some have what they call money status. It is the level of their money or wealth that determines their status. But we have said here that your self-worth is not your worth. Some persons can have a self-worth that is very low and their net worth is high. So your net worth, that is the money, does not determine your self-worth. So we should have that self-worth. And of course, no matter what our bank account is saying, once our self-worth is up, then of course, we are living a balanced life. But again, I must also emphasize that if you say money is not good, you don't know where to shop. So you just have to have the right attitude towards money. And again, I asked that question, are you at peace with money? We just have to be at peace with money, because money is a neutral energy. So let us now look at why is money spiritual. One, your soul is infinitely abundant. You need money to expand. You need money to affect people in other parts of the world. You don't need to be there. And our soul wants to expand. And money is that tool that we really need to expand. Some people, why money has gone beyond this physical level which we look at money. Money is spiritual. So we need to handle money carefully. And we can go about our spiritual activities peacefully and at the same time make money without conflicting each other. So we should do away with some of those doctrines that says if you want to pursue money, you cannot pursue spirituality. We should be able to know the balance. We should be able to know when money has become our master and not the servant or tool it is supposed to play in our lives. So another reason again why money is spiritual, money is energetically neutral. Money is neutral. The energy in money is neutral. It is the energy behind it that counts. Some persons have said those who have money, wealthy people, are evil. They are saying you could have money and you are a good person, but the money if you are evil. So it is the intention behind what you use money for. You can acquire money and destabilize a community. Yes, you can acquire money and destabilize the community.
Yes.
You can also acquire money and create peace in the community by going into projects and ventures that will affect the community in a positive manner. Yes, you can go into your village community, establish a skill acquisition center with your money, and they will train your youth in the craft and skill of certain businesses, and at the end of the day, the velocity of money, because money is dynamic, the velocity of money will move faster, and you see the economy of that community improving. And of course, like we have said here, the GDP will also increase. You know, GDP is your gross domestic product. If the personal GDP of each individual in the community increases, of course, that community or that country, their GDP will also increase, because you are now empowering people. Just imagine the number of people you have empowered that should have been involved in negative vices in the society. But because of that, your money, you have been able to rehabilitate them, make use of them very well, using your money to create avenues for them to express themselves. So that is why we are saying money is spiritual. Another reason again is, imagine a world where the majority of money is in the hands of people who are using it for positive impacts. Just imagine a world where all the money in the world is in the hands of people who are using money for the positive reason. You can see how the world will be a better place for everybody to live and enjoy, and we are going to improve the quality of life, the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, the houses we stay, the quality of life of people on planet Earth. So money is good. Money is divine expression of the gifts of the Almighty God. So we should treat money in a proper way. Before I round up this session, I think I read in the media some communities in Nigeria, maybe northern Nigeria, there is cholera outbreak.
Yeah.
Because of what? In 21st century Nigeria, there is cholera outbreak. Well, I'm not a medical doctor, but I know cholera outbreak, that means there's source of water. That is a problem. Is that also? So in 21st century Nigeria, we cannot provide clean, affordable water for people to drink. For me, it's a failure of the right use of money. So if somebody comes up today now and begin to use his money to affect the community, provide drinking, clean, portable, affordable drinking water for the community, he will have acted spiritually, and people will have benefited. So before I round this segment, I will round up with a quote. Money is usually attracted, not pursued. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Charles. That wraps up the Investors Education Series today on the spirituality of money. Yes. So I would encourage you to go. You can watch this video, you can like, comment, share with everyone. Let everybody join in on the wealth of information that we're sharing here at Broadstreet Radio. Also, this wraps up the BSR Afternoon Business Show. Join us at 4 p.m. for the National Association of Securities Dealers NAS report, as well as the Nigerian Stock Exchange call over as well. Have a lovely evening and stay blessed. Is it evening already? Or is